Carbohydrates, which are otherwise called as hydrated carbons. The meaning of hydrated carbons is these are simple water containing carbon atoms. So if you see the structure, they have carbons to which water molecules are attached. So that is why these are called as carbohydrates or hydrated carbons. So to define these carbohydrates, they have either an aldehyde group or a ketone group. So based on these groups, the definition is they are aldehyde or ketone compounds with multiple hydroxyl groups, or they can also be defined as aldehyde or ketone derivatives of polyhydroxy alcohols. That is, the functional group is either an aldehyde group or a ketone group, along with there are multiple hydroxyl groups. Now the general molecular formula is CnH2ON, and because there are multiple hydroxyl groups, they are readily soluble in water. These carbohydrates are readily soluble in water because of the presence of these multiple hydroxyl groups, and they are also sweet in taste, hence they are also called as sugars or also called as saccharides. In Greek, saccharon means sugar. And coming to the classification of these carbohydrates based on the number of sugar units. Based on the number of sugar units, they are classified into monosaccharides, which has one sugar unit, oligosaccharide, which has few sugar units, and polysaccharides, which has many sugar units. So based on the number of sugar units, they are classified into monosaccharides with one sugar unit, oligosaccharide with few sugar units, and polysaccharides with many sugar units. These monosaccharides are also called as simple sugars, and they consist of single polyhydroxy aldehyde or ketone unit. They either have a ketone unit or an aldehyde unit along with polyhydroxy alcohols. So because of this simpler structure, they cannot be further hydrolyzed into simple form. Examples are some glyceraldehyde and dihydroxy acetone. Now these monosaccharides are again subdivided into two groups based on the number of carbon atoms they have and also based on the functional group there is present. Based on the number of carbon atoms, they are divided into triosis, tetrosis, pentosis, hexosis, heptosis, and so on. And based on the type of functional group that is present, aldosis if they have an aldehyde functional group, and ketosis if they have a ketone functional group. If we see one example, glyceraldehyde is a carbohydrate, is a monosaccharide which has an aldehyde functional group, and also it is a 3-carbon compound. So it is a triose sugar and also an aldose sugar. Whereas dihydroxyacetone, this has ketone group as a functional group. So it is a ketose sugar and also a triose sugar. Similarly, hexose is also glucose is also a 6-carbon compound and it has aldehyde functional group. So it is an aldose hexose sugar. And fructose, it has ketone body as its functional group. So it is a ketose hexose sugar. Now coming to oligosaccharides, oligo means few. Now these consist of short chain of monosaccharide units. Now this few can be 2 to 10 sugar units. Now these sugar units, individual sugar units, are joined together by a special bond called as glycosidic bond. The individual sugar units that are present in an oligosaccharide are joined together by a special bond called as glycosidic bond, and on hydrolysis, see here also there is a special bond called as glycosidic bond, and on hydrolysis they give 2 to 10 molecules of simple sugar based on how many monosaccharide units they are made of. And these oligosaccharides, again, they are subdivided based on the number of monosaccharide units. Based on the number of monosaccharide units, they are divided into disaccharides which have 2 sugar units, and trisaccharide which has 3 sugar units, tetrasaccharide which has 4 sugar units, and so on. For example, disaccharide. For example, sucrose is made of glucose and fructose, and lactose is also a disaccharide which is made of glucose and galactose, and maltose is also a disaccharide which is made of 2 molecules of glucose. So sucrose is a simple table sugar, lactose is present in milk, and maltose is present in malt. And some other examples of trisaccharides are raffinose, which is made of glucose, galactose and fructose, each of which is again a monosaccharide. And example of tetrasaccharide is stachyose, which is made of 2 molecules of galactose and 1 molecule of glucose and 1 molecule of fructose. Next, polysaccharides. These are made of many sugar units. Poly means many and saccharides means sugars. So these are made of many sugar units. Now many means how many. The many can be, it consists of hundreds or thousands of monosaccharide units. So anything more than 10 to thousands of sugar units can be a polysaccharide. These are also called as glycans. The other name of polysaccharide is glycans or complex carbohydrates. And coming to the structure, these monosaccharides can be either in a linear fashion or they can also have a branch. They can be either in a linear structure or they can have a branched structure. And because these are made of many sugar units, there are hundreds and thousands of many sugar units, they have very high molecular weight and they are sparingly soluble in water, and these are not sweet in taste, and they do not exhibit any properties of aldehyde or ketone group. Now these polysaccharides, again based on the type of monosaccharide unit that is present, that is the type of sugar that is present, these are again divided into homopolysaccharides and heteropolysaccharides. So homopolysaccharide is, as the name suggests, it has many. Polysaccharide, it has many sugar units. It is made of several units, but homo means same. So it is made of same type of the sugar unit. This homopolysaccharide is made of same type of the sugar unit. Some examples are starch, dextrin, glycogen, inulin and cellulose. These are otherwise called as homoglycans. And next, heteropolysaccharides, and as the name suggests, polysaccharides, many sugar units are there, but hetero meaning different. So they have either 2 or more different types of monosaccharide units. So all these monosaccharide units are different. They can be 2 varieties or different varieties of the monosaccharide units. And these heteropolysaccharides, that if they are present in human beings, the heteropolysaccharides that are present in human beings, they are called as glycosaminoglycans or mucopolysaccharides. The heteropolysaccharides that are present in human beings are called as mucopolysaccharides or glycosaminoglycans. Examples: heparin, chondroitin sulfate, hyaluronic acid, dermatan sulfate, keratin sulfate and blood group polysaccharides. So to summarize the classification of these carbohydrates based on the number of sugar units, they are classified into monosaccharides, oligosaccharides and polysaccharide. Monosaccharide has 1 sugar unit, oligo is few sugar units and polysaccharide is many sugar units. And these monosaccharides are again divided based on the number of carbon atoms and functional groups. Based on the number of carbon atoms, they are trioses, tetroses, pentoses, hexoses, etc. And based on the functional group, they are aldoses and ketoses. And these oligosaccharides, based on the number of sugar units, they are again divided into disaccharides, trisaccharides, tetrasaccharides and so on. And polysaccharides, based on the type of sugar unit that is they are having, they are divided into homopolysaccharides and heteropolysaccharide. If they are same sugar units are present, they are called as homo, and if there are different sugar units, they are called as heteropolysaccharides. Some examples of homo: starch, inulin, etc. Whereas some examples of heteropolysaccharides are heparin, dermatan sulfate, chondroitin sulfate, etc.